Hello, welcome to the Quick Start Guide for setting up your payroll runs. For this exercise, we will learn what a payroll run is, as well as how to create and automate them in your Crunch account. Please do note, this video will cover the essentials that we need to get started. However, at the end of this session, we will provide some additional information and links to other resources that you may find helpful. Now, before we proceed with this session, there's a few things that you should be aware of. So first of all, in order for us to actually set up a payroll run, we will have needed to register our business, our limited company, for a PAYE scheme, a pay-as-you-earn scheme. We also need to ensure that Crunch holds our most recent and up-to-date tax code, as this is what determines our salary allowances. And lastly, you also should be aware that the salaries are accounted for during the personal tax year, which is always going to be between the 6th and the 5th of April every single year. Payroll runs are only to be created for directors. So as a side note, if you've got any employees within your company, you would also then need to consider looking at our Crunch payroll service. But I'll provide some information at the end of this session related to that if you need it. We should also firstly as well get an understanding of what PAYE and payroll runs are. So HMRC basically want to know every single month what people are earning through their limited company, as well as what they're not taking, strangely enough, as well. So even if you're not taking salaries, you still need to run payroll every single month to keep them up to date. The rules and regulations around this are really, really strict. So we have to ensure that we're being compliant at all times by filing something called real-time information. Crunch does this without a hitch. As I mentioned earlier, we can automate these so that we don't actually need to do anything other than setting it up to begin with. So now that we've got the understanding of what they are and HMRC's requirements, let's crack on and get one set up. So you'll need to navigate to the Pay Yourself tab, seen here, and then to the Payroll Run sub-tab, which is just underneath this one here. What we then want to do is press this new recurring payroll run. And this is going to create an event that allows us to simply let Crunch automate this data every single month. So if I select the new recurring payroll run button, we then need to specify when do I want to get paid. So it's always going to be monthly. And the payday, I've got complete flexibility over this. I'm going to go with the 28th. You notice you've got a start and an end date. Now this says ends here, again, because as I mentioned, it's for the personal tax year. So as an early bit of advice, what you will find is that when this tax year ends, you will then need to just set up a new recurring run. As I move down, I've then got salary details. You'll see that this has been pre-populated for me, so I don't need to work out what basic salary I can take. The system's done that for me. And to the right-hand side, you'll see this little pay checkbox here. Now, when I check this, you're going to see the section 3, payment details, generates. Now, I need to specify how it is that I'm being paid this salary via this payment method dropdown. So if I select this, I'm going to select transfer out from company accounts. I then need to choose which bank account it's going out of. So the current. And there we go. So who's receiving that payment and the total amount to be paid. The next section here, email reminders. These can be really helpful. You can set these to be whatever you wish. It could be a day, a week, or at the end of the month. It's entirely up to you. I'm going to leave this as 7 days before the payroll run. So I'm just going to get an automated email from the Crunch system just to give myself a little heads up. I need to pay myself on that date. Now I'm going to press Save Payroll Run. Going to say saving this recurring run will result in RTI filing, which is exactly what we want. So I'm okay with that. Brilliant. And there we go. It's as simple as that. So we now have a scheduled payroll run set up. We can see this here, and it'll also give me the event details. So the next occurrence, when it ends, and how many people are involved in that payroll. Now that does complete the guide for setting up your payroll runs in Crunch. However, there is one final area that I just want to put your eyes to. So if you go to the Pay Yourself section and the dashboard, you've then got a breakdown, a summary here as well. This works very much like a progress bar, for example. So we can see what has already been taken and what is expected to be taken until the new tax year, the 6th of April hits. With that being said, if you have any questions or you need any additional support in setting these up, please don't hesitate on giving us a call. Thank you.